Young Junk! Two Men, One Podcast, every black film ever made. My name is Vincent Williams, and I'm joined as always by my host.
Hey, holla at your boy. This is Len, a.k.a. The Bat Tribble.
And on our first episode in December, we are going to keep it holiday-y.
It's the holiday-y. It's the holiday season.
And talk about films this month that are connected to said holidays. We're going to start with today's film, a British import.
Oh, yes. From across the pond.
And directed by British actor Amel Amin. Boxing Day. But before we get to Boxing Day, how are you, Lynn?
I am doing great. Vincent, how are you doing?
I am also doing well.
Shout out to each and every one of you out there who are watching us as we stream live from Young Junk, Philadelphia's premier video podcast palace here in Manayunk, as we stream live to Facebook, Twitter, as well as YouTube. And to all of you out there in the chat, hello, all of you missionaries.
Good evening, one and all.
Vincent, I am ecstatic right now.
All right.
And I want to tell you why, and I want to tell each and every one of you why, is because when we came in, Vincent, as he always does, made me insanely jealous by getting in the elevator that brought us up to the studio and pressing the button, leaned back and said, "So I saw Pearly Victorious."
I did.
On Broadway.
I did. It's true. It's true.
So Vincent.
Yes.
How was Leslie Odom?
Leslie Odom, and we should probably get it because it is, as if you've seen Pearly Victorious, you know that it is really a play that is group effort.
Yes.
It's a group effort. So while certainly Leslie Odom Jr. is the star, playing the title role of Pearly Victorious, it is also worth, you would think I'd have everybody up, but you would be wrong. Where is the cast? Where is this? It's a whole bunch of stuff on here that's not the cast. Maybe if I clicked on cast. Billy Eugene Jones as Gitlow, fantastic. Okay. Jay Sanders as old Captain Kochapi.
Nice.
Absolutely fantastic. Heather Alicia Sims as Missy Judison. Once again, fantastic. Noah Robbins, a young actor who plays Charlie Kochapi, was really good. Really good. Our girl, Vanessa Bell Calloway.
What?
As Miss Idella. Ooh. And someone who was absolutely remarkable, Cara Young, who plays Ludi Bell Gussie Mae Jenkins.
Ooh, nice. That's the this is an adaptation.
This is an adaptation of the classic Ossie Davis play.
Right.
That was then turned into a film that you and I actually reviewed a few years ago. And Cara Young plays the role that Ruby Dee played.
Right.
And if you are men or a person of our age, and we talked about this during the review, many of us are familiar with the Pearly story through the musical. Pearly.
Right.
Which used to run on PBS affiliates, and they showed it on television, where Robert Guillaume plays Pearly and Melba Moore plays Ludabelle.
Yeah, I actually saw Pearly on stage.
Yeah. It was fantastic.
Really?
It was absolutely fantastic. Leslie Odom was magnificent.
Really?
He was funny. He was it's such a physical play. Like, obviously Leslie Odom, you're not surprised by that because of the physicality that he brought to the role of Aaron Burr, his most famous role in Hamilton. But he is so good. And, Pearly basically is playing a slick talking preacher. So it's just a lot of words. And Leslie Odom handles it so well. But Kara Young, as Ludabelle, who, I wasn't familiar with her work. She's been in a few things here and there. She was a revelation.
Wow.
She is funny. Her physical performance, she is pretty, like just the whole
Everything, the whole package.
And the two of them together, you know how we do, like we kind of do these mental exercises. Like, if I kind of ruled the world, what would I do? And this is going to sound like sacrilege, but it's not.
Okay.
You're going to think I'm thinking about something, but I'm not.
Okay.
Leslie Odom Jr. has so many things going for him. Good-looking guy, leading man kind of stature and presence. He can sing. He is funny. He has such he has such sort of chemistry with Kara Young that I wanted the two of them to work together.
Okay.
And like Leslie Odom, because he is so good at so many things, like he could own a nightclub where he does a show. And like Kara Young could play his wife, who's always trying to get into the club and kind of do things. And then she gets into misadventures.
Okay. Okay.
And maybe she can have a friend named like Hethel. And she's married to a man named
Ned.
Maybe Ned. Mm-hmm. And they could all get into adventures. She is that good.
Wow.
Lynn, I've not laughed at something like this in I don't know how long.
Nice.
So the first thing I was going to tell you, but then you said you had already planned on.
I plan on seeing it.
If you are on the East Coast,
Look in the camera.
make it your business to go see Pearly Victorious
and run, because I think it closes out
February.
in February. Yeah.
It is so good.
Wow.
And you and I have been doing this long enough that our record kind of speaks for ourselves. Like, we've been doing it long enough that we've said things like, wow, that Tessa Thompson, I think things might go that way, well for her. Mm-hmm. That Barry Jenkins, I really like. I
see good things for him.
I like Medicine for Melancholy. I feel like Barry Jenkins is an actor that we should keep our eye on.
Director.
Regardless of where we are with his personal stuff, we said, oh, this Jonathan Majors guy, I think he's going to be big.
So Kara Young. Really?
Remarkable. Lynn, and we said, it's funny, we reviewed this. We reviewed Pearly Victorious a few years ago, and you and I basically said that, Captain Catchapee is this old kind of Southern gentleman, what we said is like, if Foghorn Leghorn and Colonel Sanders were like, maybe they should play it up a little more.
Right.
Get Low is this old-timey kind of satire of the happy slave. So he's got his whole thing. Pearly Victorious, as I said, fast talking. And we said that these three characters almost were in a different place than everybody else in the play. And Ruby Dee is so young. And it's like 1963, I think the film was made. So it's in the midst of the civil rights movement. So everybody's very kind of like you can tell Ruby Dee is like, I'm Ruby Dee. I'm only doing so much. Kara Young is balls to the wall.
Nice.
Like she matches Leslie Odom Jr. so well, who again
is great.
And this is Aaron Burr.
I can't wait.
It is so good.
I cannot wait. I'm looking forward to. I think we're going to see it in sometime in January. So
yeah. Well, you are in for a treat.
Wow.
The other thing, just complete Vince's culture corner.
Yes, please, let's do it.
We went to a viewing of American Fiction.
Oh, that's the new Jeffrey Wright movie.
Right, starring Jeffrey Wright. And every accolade that you've heard, and that's Cord, should look this up.
Oh, the director?
The director, and yeah.
Well, go ahead, keep talking. I'll do it for you.
Every accolade that this film has gotten, it should have gotten. It is razor sharp satire. It is a farce. Going forward, people are going to talk about this in the same breath as Putney Swope and Bamboozled.
Really? Because I was wondering whether or not how it would, like, if it's actually funny. Cord Jefferson, writer director.
Oh, it is laugh out loud funny.
Okay,
like it is actually hilarious. And Jeffrey Wright is, I mean, it's, I was thinking Jeffrey Wright kind of has 70s Stevie Wonder problem. Like he's so good, and he's been so good for so long, we almost kind of take him for granted. Like Songs in the Key of Life came out, but like by the time Songs in the Key of Life came out, it was like fulfilling his first finale and Talking Book and Music of My Mind, and like, and it's like, oh, okay, you've made a life-altering record again.
That's a good call because Jeffrey Wright, as acclaimed as he's been, is not a leading man.
Right.
So it's easy to take him for granted.
And
yeah.
he can do everything.
He's like a chameleon. Yeah.
He is hilarious.
Yeah.
He is, lead. He's a character actor, all of it. And again, this satire, and I don't think this is giving anything away because this is right in the trailer. The plot is he is a struggling novelist, basically. Right. And part of the reason he is struggling because he writes these very sort of sophisticated, urbane books.
Right.
And the publishers don't think that he's quote unquote black enough. Mm-hmm. So then he writes this outrageously stereotypical book.
And of course.
And then that turns into a hit. Hijinks ensue. And like I said, much like Putney Swope and Bamboozled, the satire and critique is razor sharp. Mm-hmm. But I think what I've not seen in the criticism of this film is the B plot is as strong, if not stronger.
Okay.
Than this main plot that we all talk about with American fiction. Just plot wise, like I said, he's a writing professor at a college. Things are tough. Basically, he gets backed into a sabbatical. Like, dude, you gotta take a break. Mm-hmm. Goes home to visit his family.
Okay.
In Boston.
Okay.
His family comes from a family of physicians. Oh. His father is dead. His mother is played by Leslie Uggams.
That's my girl.
His sister is played by Tracy Ellis Ross.
Okay. I wonder what role she played.
His brother is played by Sterling K. Brown. And then Erica Alexander becomes his love interest.
Oh, stop it. You're killing me.
Lynn.
You're killing me.
His family and the interactions with the family are so wonderful. You don't need the book stuff.
You just live right there.
Wendy is rewatching 6 Feet Under. Did you watch 6 Feet Under?
Not
the HBO
really.
show about the family, HBO show, early 2000s.
Yeah, set in the
funeral home. But just this really well-constructed, genteel mannered family drama that quite honestly they don't really make anymore. No. Like just these kind of families and they interact. I could watch an entire television show about the Ellison family in this film and Jeffrey Wright bouncing off of these wonderful actors. So I've had a good cultural 4 or 5 days. So if American fiction, because is it officially out yet? I think it comes out.
I think it drops this week. I'm not seeing the release date. I think it drops this week.
Drops this week. Absolutely make a point to see American Fiction.
Oh, I look forward to it.
So yeah, absolutely.
I am looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I mean, they had me at Jeffrey Wright, but then Erica Alexander.
I love the fact that she's going through a bit of a renaissance. Like, I love the fact that Erica Alexander is around.
So do I.
Well, yes, that too.
Oh, sorry.
Look.
I ever tell you about when Erica Alexander was at Amalgam Comics? She showed up at Amalgam Comics. I forget exactly what the event was.
Probably for her comic book.
Oh, it was for Concrete Part. Mm-hmm. For Concrete Part. She was there for Concrete Part, and, Ariel, our close friend of the show, was the owner of Amalgam, was there. And I had already interviewed Erica like about a year or so earlier on Black Tribbles on my radio show. So, and Ariel knew how I felt about Erica Alexander, but I can't remember. I was someplace, like I couldn't be there at the event. I was somewhere. And they sent me a video on my phone.
Oh, that is funny.
And Erica Alexander said words to the effects like, "Now I'm in Philly and you ain't here. What's up, Len? What, you don't want me. You don't want me. Just hang up. Just hang up." I was like, no.
That's a terrible story. I wish you hadn't told me that.
So I was But anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing
She's
American.
Very good.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great.
So.
Well, I see your Vince's Culture Corner.
Okay.
And I welcome you and the Missionaries to Len's Geeky Grotto.
Okay. All right.
Where I will regale you of my short review.
Okay.
Of Godzilla Minus One.
Man, I am looking forward to this.
Oh my God. Vincent, I went to this movie with someone who has never seen a Godzilla movie.
Okay.
Only knows Godzilla exists because they've seen the word in the dictionary.
Sure.
There's nothing about Godzilla except that it's a big lizard.
Big lizard. That's what he is. Mm-hmm.
But this movie, Godzilla Minus One, which not to confuse anyone, is not set in the world of the most recent American Godzilla movies.
Sure. The Monarch verse.
Right. The Monarch verse,
yes.
as it were. This movie is by the creators of Godzilla, Toho. It's a Japanese movie. And it more or less operates as almost a remake of a sort of the first Godzilla movie, which was actually Gojira.
Mm-hmm. Because it's a period piece.
A period piece. It takes place in Japan right after World War II, right after the dropping of the bomb.
Sure.
And it deals with Japan actually having to pick up the pieces, rebuild their culture, rebuild the civilization. But it also deals with having to, in the midst of this disaster where so much is lost, you have to not only reclaim your life, but you have to reclaim and reimagine what family looks like. While also there is a storyline that dealing with PTSD, and not just from the war, but then also having survived an attack from Godzilla.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. It's interesting to see that's a bit of a thread that's picked up in the Monarch series.
Yeah.
But this is right here in this film. This is probably the first kaiju movie ever where the human interest story, what is happening on the ground with the humans, the Japanese people that are living their lives or trying to rediscover their lives, is every bit as interesting, as every bit as moving, and as every bit as heartfelt as any of the action that happens in this movie. And yet it seamlessly ties into the action of Godzilla, so much so that you are on your, like, the edge of your seat almost the entire movie, or definitely every time Godzilla comes up. This may be the best design for Godzilla I've ever seen. This Godzilla is like incredible to see. The special effects, I'm not going to say the special effects are on the par of the Monarch verse, but they're so close. It's and I think the difference is because in the Monarch verse, it's Godzilla versus monsters, and this is solely Godzilla. So there are times where Godzilla almost looks a little stiff because he's just him and he's just standing there. But then he'll move, but it still works because even when he's standing there, you never lose the perspective of the scale of Godzilla. And the fury and the power and the just terror of Godzilla. Godzilla is rightfully scary as a whoop in this movie. And dude, it was so good. And a person that went with me that never saw Godzilla in their life was like, well, that was good.
Is it better than Shin Godzilla?
Yes.
Now you see, you saying
yes.
You saying something now.
It's better than Shin Godzilla.
Okay. Because if it's better than Shin Godzilla, you know what you're saying.
What?
This is the best Godzilla movie ever made.
See, the only reason I won't say that this is the best Godzilla movie ever made is because the little kid in me will never forget the moment in Godzilla versus Kong when Godzilla and Kong fought Mecha Godzilla. Like, that will always, like, when I saw that in that movie, I was like, oh my God, it's Mecha Godzilla and King Kong and Godzilla fighting Mecha. I was in my pajamas with a bowl of cereal all over again when I saw it.
At some point, I'll be sitting in the theater going, you know what, this is good. What I really need is Jet Jaga.
You do not see now that's sacrilege.
See, I need Jet Jaga.
You do not see now that's sacrilege.
In a Japanese boy in some itty bitty shorts.
And Godzilla doing a two-legged drop kick. Into a lobster.
Yeah.
No.
Dylan, man, come on now.
God,
come on now.
Mecha.
Don't play Dylan.
Mecha Godzilla.
You know about Mecha Godzilla.
Mecha Godzilla.
We need a Godzilla, but it's actually a giant robot. All right. So, Godzilla Minus One.
Godzilla Minus One is all that. It is absolutely all that.
Number one daughter is coming home from college this week. We suppose to go see it.
Nice. Nice. I think she will. You will absolutely enjoy it. What else you will enjoy?
Okay.
Not to be outdone.
Okay.
Speaking of Godzillas. Or large beings.
Yes.
I saw Bookie
Okay, all right.
It's a new series on Max.
Okay,
Starring Sebastian Maniscalco.
okay, and
One Omar J. Dorsey.
Omar doing that work.
Dude.
Good stuff.
Dude.
He not Hollywood. He not playing Hollywood. He's not Hollywood anymore.
He's not Hollywood.
Yeah.
Bookie is about Sebastian Maniscalco, and forgive me if I'm saying his name incorrectly. Plays a bookie.
Yes, it's right there in the title. It'd be weird if it was about a lawyer
in California, and it's about him trying to basically collect on these sports books.
Sure,
which is a dying profession because of legalized gambling.
Yeah.
Which is actually commented on in the show. Omar plays his partner / the enforcer. But Omar he enforces upon everybody except his grandmother.
Oh no, he got a gambling grandmother?
Well, he doesn't have a gambling grandmother.
Okay.
But he has a grandmother. See, Omar's character, he used to be a professional football player.
Okay.
But he had a bad knee injury, so he had where he fall in line. But when he was a professional football player, he was rolling in the dough. Mm-hmm. So he bought his grandmother a beautiful house out in Brentwood.
Nice.
But when he got a knee injury, and when the money started going other places, like paying for child support for his 10 kids.
That's terrible.
Grandma had to move to a rental in Compton.
Oh, no.
And she never takes a moment to let him forget about that.
Oh, well, that's a lot.
She reminds him every single moment about this show. It is so funny. They go over to his grandma's house. I forget why they go over to his grandma's house for something. They have to stop off to get something before they go out to this drug rehab center.
All right, don't tell all of it.
Oh, no.
Okay.
They got to go to the drug rehab center because they got to collect from Charlie Sheen.
Is Charlie Sheen actually show up?
Yes.
Fantastic.
But while they're inside grandma's house, when they come out, the bookie, his car gets repossessed.
Oh, this is terrible.
So they have to call an Uber. To go out to the drug rehab.
Right, to get money from
10 hours later, the Uber shows up.
Oh, because they're in Compton. City of Compton.
I'm telling you, man, I've seen 2 episodes of the show, new episodes every Thursday, free plug. It is laugh out loud.
Excellent.
Hilarious.
Well, congratulations, Omar.
I hope this is a huge hit. It's brought to him by Chuck Lorre is the executive producer of this.
Oh, well, there you go.
And so that's the Charlie Sheen
money, yeah.
So I guess this is his next big thing since Big Bang Theory is off. So it's Omar. You got a hit in my books, man. I love it.
All right. Congratulations, brother.
I love it.
All right.
You just, get some tracksuits that fit, dog. That's all I'm saying.
So this is your Geeky Grotto?
This has been Len's Geeky Grotto.
All right. There you go. And we believe in all of these things because we said it. Otherwise, we wouldn't have said anything.
You're so funny.
No, I always say you can tell a lot. You can tell a lot about what we say, but you can also tell a lot about what we don't say.
That's very true. Yes, you're right. All right. Let's get to our emails, or as we like to call them,
missives from the missionaries. So what else is going on, Lynn?
We have emails, Vincent.
Ooh, missives from the missionaries.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh, Missives from the Missionaries.
Missives from the Missionaries, #1, Vincent from Corey Nicole.
Hey, Corey.
Hi, Len and Vince. Happy holidays to both of you. I recently listened to the Strictly Business episode, and it made me think of something.
Okay.
A fun fact about the movie was Halle Berry was not the initial pick for Natalie.
Oh, that is. Who was? Did she tell us who it was?
Funny you should ask.
Okay.
Corey continues, it was actually going to be A.J. Johnson, Shireen from House Party.
Oh, I know who A.J. Johnson
Oh, we know. We are well aware.
Wow.
Of who.
So what happened? No, I just expect her to know everything about this.
She doesn't explain what happens. However,
Come on, Corey, you can't drop A.J. Johnson and then
also apparently up for the role of Wayman was David Alan Grier.
No, I knew that. I did know David Alan Grier either turned it down or something happened. Yeah.
Interesting.
Because actually, no disrespect to I'm just forgetting all kinds of names tonight. I'm looking right at him.
We see him
Because he's doing the goofy dance in the Cosby Show credits.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No disrespect to him, but I thought David Alan Grier would have brought
Talent to the role. You're right.
Hey, dog, easy. What? I was going to say different energy.
/ talent.
I actually like him on the Cosby Show. I actually like him and Lisa Bonet's chemistry.
You like their energy together?
No, their chemistry. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Corey continues.
Yes, Corey.
With a question for the both of us.
Okay.
Do you believe that black comedians make strong, great leading men in movies? Mm-hmm. I ask this because I think about how
Joseph C. Phillips. Go ahead.
I ask this because I think about how Bernie Mac could pull that feat off with his wit and charm. I would say Eddie Murphy too, but his ego can sometimes get the best of him, and he can come off as not so charming in moments. Do I believe that black comedians could make strong leading men? I mean, it's like all comedians. Some comedians could, some comedians couldn't, Bernie Mac, honestly, you're saying Bernie Mac could, but I can only really think of 2 movies where Bernie Mac is kind of like the lead or co-lead, and I think he's just okay in those.
So I'm thinking about, was it Mr. 500?
Mr. 500, and then there's
okay.
the remake of Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? Guess Who?
Oh, and I hate Guess Who.
And then he is also with
Samuel Jackson in Soul Men.
Soul Men. And I saw that. I barely remember that movie, but I remember him like he's just all right. Just all right. Yeah. See, I don't know if I see Bernie Mac like Bernie Mac. I don't know if I see as a leading man on movies, television, of course,
right?
But movies is a different energy.
I mean,
because I'm thinking like she says Eddie Murphy can pull it off.
Look,
Damon Wayans pulled it off. Jamie Foxx pulled it off. Richard Pryor, of course.
Eddie Murphy is a freak of nature. I think calling Jamie Foxx a comedian is amazingly reductive. Like Jamie Foxx is just everything.
Okay, but he was a comedian though.
No, that's what hit first.
Okay, but Eddie Murphy hit first as a comedian.
No. But Eddie Murphy, I think the baseline of Eddie Murphy is comedian.
Okay, yeah.
Like he plays at music.
Okay.
And he.
So you're saying like if you ask Jamie Foxx probably what his baseline would be.
I'm saying that there are parallel universes to the left and right of us where Jamie Foxx hit as an actor
first.
And then there's a parallel universe right on the other side where he hit as a singer.
Okay.
Jamie Foxx can just do everything.
Okay.
I mean, you're going, but he can. Jamie Foxx sings better than 90% of the people on this planet. He plays instruments you might not like what he does, but you can't say he can't sing.
No, okay.
Right.
Okay.
Damon Wayans, besides The Last Boy Scout, I guess he's the lead of we were just talking about Bamboozled.
He's the lead of Bamboozled.
All right, I'll give you Damon Wayans. And Damon Wayans is a comedian. Mm-hmm. So we got Eddie Murphy, Damon Wayans, that
Martin
you
Lawrence.
and I both agree on.
Say what you want about Martin Lawrence.
You're right, Martin Lawrence, right? Like I don't like his shtick, but everybody else does. Yeah.
Say what you want about Chris Rock.
Oh, I don't think Chris Rock is a good lead at all. And I
don't think he's a good lead.
Yeah, and I think every single amalgamation of criticism around Chris Rock as lead throughout his career has kind of said that. Like everything always lands on Chris Rock is not a good lead.
So with that in mind, circling back to
and just to clarify, to compare Chris Rock to Martin Lawrence, like I personally do not like Martin Lawrence as a lead, but I think the sort of collected opinion of criticism is that he works as a lead.
Okay.
Whereas Chris
is
Rock,
where I was going to go.
I also don't like Chris Rock as a lead, but I think if you look at the collected criticism,
is that he doesn't
consensus.
Work. The consensus is that he doesn't work. Okay, and that's why I was going to circle back to Martin Lawrence on that point. Okay, so who else is there? I mean, Richard Pryor,
and even that's sort of
Richard
case
Pryor
by case,
very very case by case. Bill Cosby.
Oh, another freak of nature. Like, Bill Cosby and Eddie Murphy can do everything.
So Cosby,
controversial.
Bill Cosby, Eddie Murphy,
Jamie Foxx.
They're the freaks of nature.
Right, the three freaks. Yeah, they can probably juggle, do card tricks.
Okay.
They're ambidextrous. Sure, all right, fine.
All right. So that leaves us to Kevin Hart.
I can't really judge Kevin Hart.
I think Kevin Hart kind of fits in the Martin Lawrence vein.
People like him.
He seems to work. The consensus is that he works as a lead.
The consensus is that Kevin Hart works.
Right. Now, I don't think he necessarily is a strong lead, because I think he basically does Kevin Hart, and you just cast around it, which is what you do with Martin Lawrence.
Right.
I think he's maybe a little bit more giving of a performer than Martin Lawrence was.
Right.
So I'll give him that. But I don't think Kevin Hart, admittedly, he's not given the opportunity, or he hasn't taken the opportunity. I don't know how dramatic he could get. I've seen him be melodramatic.
I have watched one episode, and maybe this is saying more than I want to say, that I've only seen one episode. But that show, what is that?
Netflix
True
show.
Story with him and Wesley Snipes?
The Netflix show, yeah.
I didn't think it was bad.
The show was bad.
Now, I didn't think it was good enough that I've watched more than one episode.
You probably, which was the first episode.
Yeah.
The same one I watched.
Yeah.
Right.
So I feel like maybe it's there.
Maybe. So maybe it's just a matter of getting the work. Getting the script.
Look, my Kevin Hart thing. I feel like Kevin Hart doesn't stretch. Like, I feel like it's something there, but, the money is in these movies. Hey, look at me.
The money's in these projects.
Look at me. I'm a little guy, and I've got this annoying voice.
Hey.
If The Rock is free, we can throw him in there. I'm a little guy. He's a big guy. Isn't this hilarious?
You can't get The Rock, get Ice Cube.
Isn't this hilarious? I'm a little guy. He's a big guy.
Laughter ensues.
Laughter ensues. I'm going to be real spastic.
Hey.
Hour and 45 minutes.
20 million.
20 million.
I can't be mad at it.
Did I mention I'm a little guy?
I believe you said that once or twice.
Yes. He actually has a commercial and I don't even know what he's at, it's because it's like Kevin Hart, God bless that man, make your money. But like The whole commercial was him trying to reach for the top shelf in the supermarket.
I think I saw that.
It's like, right. You're a little guy. I don't know if you've mentioned that.
Are you okay?
Yes.
I didn't mean to trigger you.
I get frustrated.
Why?
I'm not even mad. I'm just disappointed.
Why?
I feel like he could do more.
You know what? Here's the thing I will say about Kevin Hart. Could he maybe do more? Sure. But I think he's taking the projects. I think he's being a little bit more selective lately. But he's taking the projects that people are putting in front of him.
Sure.
He signed those checks. And what I will say he's also doing is he gives other people opportunities.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of writers, other comedians.
That is part of what frustrates me. Like, I feel like there's something there. Because I think the type of person that does that has this sort of interiority, kind of this thoughtful. Like, I feel like there's thoughtfulness there.
Yeah, but I think that thoughtfulness that you're seeing, I don't think he's inclined to, and I can't be mad at him, to necessarily put that on full display on the screen, because I don't think his first thought is to be some great thespian like that. I think his greatest fault is to be a great comedian.
All right.
But that thoughtfulness he puts behind the scenes and how he gives people jobs and opportunities.
All right. Well, there you go.
So I cape for Kevin Hart.
All right. Philly. Standing up for Philly.
And he's got a little cape that he wears when he jumps up.
And he jumps and reaches. So then, is that it?
Corey Nicole continues. All in all, this podcast is everything to me.
Oh, well, good.
I have some reviews, recommendations for you both to check out, like the indie movie Dry Long So. More Wayans Brothers movies like White Chicks and Don't Be a Menace and A Low Down Dirty Shame.
Yeah.
And In Too Deep with Omar Epps.
In Too Deep's been on my list. So has Low Down Dirty Shame, actually.
I've seen In Too Deep on people's lists.
Yeah.
I just haven't pulled the trigger. Love as always, Corey. Thank you, Corey. Appreciate the email. We have one more email that I'm going to go to today, ladies and gentlemen, and this is from Michael Sykes. Soul Man, or AKA the minstrel show of the 80s. Hi, Len and Vince. I've watched Soul Man from 1986 and then listened to your review on it. All I can say is Ray Don Chung has gotten her black card revoked away from her.
Oh, no.
How dare she tried to defend this ish.
She does.
No wonder why she hasn't played in any black movie since The Visit, which was in 2000. Do not remind me of The Visit.
I like The Visit.
I do.
It was a split decision. I like The Visit.
I think she smoked too much of her father's weed.
Oh, no.
Her father famously
Not
being
Tommy's
Tommy Chong from
Yeah.
Cheech and Chong. Because this movie was a minstrel show. As far as James Earl Jones, I don't know what identity or midlife crisis he was going through. Did he need to pay some bills? Was he going through a divorce? Wow. Damn, Mike. Damn, Mike.
You know what? James Earl Jones was in Soul Man. So this you get all this smoke.
That's true. Yet, I still have love for him thanks to a movie that I watched after this, which was The Great White Hope, which was one of his masterpieces. That was the first time watching both Soul Man and The Great White Hope. I don't know which one is more terrible or racist, Soul Man or Malibu's Most Wanted. Vincent?
Yes.
This is a freebie for you from Michael Sykes.
All right.
Original Gangsters.
Okay.
You can stream it for free on Tubi.
You know what? We all joke about Tubi, but quietly there are a couple of gems on Tubi like this. That does not surprise me at all.
Love, your fan, Michael Sykes.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael.
It's funny, I was thinking about James Earl Jones. I don't even... Oh! Because we were talking about that madman who's the Speaker of the House now, Mike Johnson, and talking about how he is right in line for the presidency.
Yeah, he's third in line.
Third in line, and I was saying, I feel like that was the plot to the James Earl Jones movie from, I think, 1972, The Man.
Oh, yeah.
Where he played and I don't think this was the exact plot, but it was this sort of convoluted things that happened. It was 1972 where they had this radical notion that a black man would become president. Mm-hmm. And that's what the whole movie was about. James Earl Jones becomes president. And it was called The Man.
Can't wait to see that movie.
I don't know if I've ever seen it. I just always knew about it.
I'm looking forward to pulling it one day.
Yeah.
So thank you, Michael Sykes.
Thank you, Michael.
Missives from the Missionaries.
All right.
Let's keep this train moving, ladies and gentlemen.
Gotta get to Boxing Day
for the top 5.
All right.
Top 5. My top 5 is. My top 5 is. My top 5 is.
Top 5, ladies and gentlemen, where I have a top 5 list and I give it to Vincent, and he gives me and you his scintillating commentary.
Scintillating is such a strong word.
We shall see.
We shall see.
Keeping it in theme.
Ooh, thematic.
Tonight's top 5 in theme with our review of Boxing Day. Mm-hmm. Tonight's top 5 are famous movie boxes.
Boxes.
Yes.
Not boxers.
Not boxers. Boxes.
Okay. Let me see. All right, I can think of one, but go ahead. Let's see what we got.
Number 5.
Number 5.
From 1995.
1995.
Who's in the box?
The box. There it is.
7.
There it is.
Delivered to a deserted area on the outskirts of the city, Detective Mills in Somerset have a very nasty surprise in store with this box.
Yeah.
Because it's a present from serial killer John Doe.
Yeah. We were just talking about this kind of role because this is Morgan Freeman. Mm-hmm. Morgan Freeman. As a sort of grounded detective. Who's seen horrors unfold unlike I've seen in my 30 years on this job.
This is the movie where he started that role.
Right.
It all started with 7.
Right. You think he keeps that same overcoat? Or do you think he gets a new kind of weathered overcoat every movie? Like every single movie, they have like the Morgan Freeman weathered overcoat.
I would not be surprised if it's the same overcoat.
So
in every film.
Just movie to movie. At this point, that overcoat has seen a lot of things.
He's the connective tissue.
The connective tissue.
There you go. All right. So that is number 5.
That's number 5.
Number 4.
Great movie that holds up.
Oh.
7 holds up.
It does hold up. Here's the thing. You would think once you know what's in the box.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of spoils it for you. Mm-hmm. And to a degree it does, but the movie really does hold up. It's a scintillating movie. Mm-hmm. Number 4. From 2008.
2008. Famous box.
The most adorable box that you've ever laid your eyes on.
Okay.
It is actually the title character of this movie.
Okay.
Wally.
You would say Wally is a box?
He is a trash compactor.
It's true.
Left on a planet Earth to clean up all the mess left behind by humans.
It's true.
Wally is the last sentient being on the planet. He loves Hello Dolly, which means we love him.
Yeah.
He's a box.
I love Wally.
Oh, that may be my favorite Pixar movie.
Look,
one of my favorite movies.
Look.
It's so beautiful.
Wally is fantastic. And another one holds up.
Oh, it absolutely holds up.
These are well-constructed boxes so far.
Yes.
Yeah.
I watch Wally about once every couple of years.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Number 3.
Number 3.
From 2005.
Okay.
This box is a coffin.
Okay.
However, it is not the most famous coffin that you probably would think of.
Okay.
Because when I say a movie coffin, what's the first one that comes to your mind?
Oh. It's what we're talking about Morgan Freeman, so I go to Unforgiven.
Wow, I wasn't even thinking about
Yeah.
that. Forgiven. I would think that the first one that comes to my mind is Dracula's coffin. Point to any Dracula movie. It's always about, his coffin.
Did I tell you I'm reading Dracula?
Yes, you did tell me you were rereading Dracula, and you were falling in love with Dracula all over again.
It's amazingly good.
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
but yes. Okay, but this coffin.
This
don't
coffin-
want to get off track.
This coffin,
Because boy, it is so good. But all right, I know. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go talk about Dracula.
not
another
Dracula's
time.
coffin.
Not Dracula's coffin. There's another one. All right.
This is the bride's coffin from Kill Bill, Volume 2.
Oh yeah.
The bride gets what's coming to her when her roaring rampage of revenge raises the hackles of fellow assassin Bud, who buries her alive
Yeah. Oh yeah.
in a coffin. And this coffin is quite literally a box
Yeah. Oh yeah.
that she has to punch her way out
That's
of.
right.
In a movie that also holds up.
Look, man.
Both volumes.
Both volumes absolutely holds up. I think you could argue. I think there's an argument that the whole thing could have been edited down
Yes, to one movie.
to one movie,
Yes.
but they're good movies.
They're two good
Yeah,
movies. All right, that's number 3.
That's number 3. Good boxes.
Very good.
Yeah.
Number 2,
Number 2.
Hollywood's famous boxes.
Famous boxes.
We go back to 1981
Okay.
to a little thing called the Ark of the Covenant.
Ark of the Covenant.
Raiders of the Lost
Raiders of
Ark.
the Lost Ark.
A box
Yeah.
that literally
Yeah.
holds
Mm-hmm.
the fragments of the 10 Commandments
Yeah.
and can make one invincible
Yeah.
or can make you melt like cheese
Yeah.
in one of the most gruesome scenes ever put to film that I have strategically only seen once.
Really?
Not the movie.
No.
That scene.
Does that fall under body horror?
Oh God, yes.
Interesting.
I can't stand. I can't stand extreme body horror. I can't stand to see things melt, especially things with faces.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that movie traumatized me, man. I'm telling you, because I saw that. Dylan, I saw you working the computer behind the scenes.
That is fantastic. Dylan showed a quick image of the melting Nazi head.
Vincent,
Yes.
I need you to be a true
It's gone.
friend.
It's gone.
Okay.
All right. Come on, back on track. Come on. I know it's the sequel, but choose wisely. Also, we are contractually bound whenever Raiders in the Lost Ark comes up to point out the fact that if Indiana Jones was not in the movie at all, it still would have unfolded the way it unfolded.
That is actually, that is 100% true.
I mean,
never thought about
I
that.
didn't come up with that. Like
I
that's
never thought about
sort of
that.
a general consensus. If Indiana Jones was not in the movie at all, it actually wouldn't have been a problem.
You're right.
Yeah.
The second they would have opened it,
Second, it would have
it
opened
would
it.
have been a wrap.
Yeah,
I never thought about
yeah,
that.
yeah. It's a huge plot hole.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Number one,
and a lot of pressure because so far these are all boxes.
all
that
four
right.
fantastic
Because
boxes.
Raiders of the Lost Ark is that business.
It is.
Still.
Yes.
So go ahead. What you got?
From 1984, we have a little ornate wooden box that has something inside that I and the world like to call a mogwai.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Said mogwai is the cutest, most marketable little thing ever to come out of Hollywood, going by the name Gizmo. He's a humming little ball of adorableness.
Yeah.
Except for when he gets wet.
Don't get him wet.
Or eats after midnight.
Don't feed him after midnight.
For then he turns into one of the gremlins.
Yeah. If you get him wet, that's how he multiplies. And then if you feed him after midnight, then he turns to a gremlin. Now, if I recall correctly, when the amazingly 80s racist Asian guy gives him the instructions, he doesn't tell him why.
No, he does not.
He just says, don't get him
Just
wet.
don't do this.
And don't feed him after midnight.
And as long as you did that.
And you should just trust me because I'm an old wizened Asian man.
Yes.
And certainly you don't have follow-up questions.
Yes.
And then since you're...
But to be fair, if he had said don't get him wet. Now get him wet is how he multiplies.
How they multiply.
So if he had said don't get him wet because then you'll get more than one of them.
Right.
What would a kid do?
Immediately get him wet.
Throw him in the bathtub.
Throw him in the bathtub, right.
So he was smart. Just said don't get him wet.
Don't feed him after midnight because then he turns into a demon. I feel like maybe they should lead with that. Truth be told, they should have killed Mogwai during the opening credits.
Why?
Because this is where it's headed.
But that's not his fault.
Well, you know what? Life is tough.
You would have done that? You would have killed him?
Oh, absolutely. Without question.
Vincent.
Without question.
Wow.
Without question. And I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
Because when he reproduced, the rest of them were evil. Like we talk about, they turned into gremlins. And they were evil mugwais.
Okay.
So you already got a situation that is a ticking time bomb. Because at some point you're going to get them wet.
Well, you don't have to get them wet.
I ain't like the whole thing. I ain't like the whole situation. Kill it. Go get a puppy. You get a puppy wet. You feed a puppy after midnight. You can train a puppy.
Okay.
Why are you buying weird, exotic animals from the stereotypical Asian guy in the dark store? Like the whole thing. It's funny. We were talking about Sid Croft passing.
Marty Croft.
Marty Croft passing last week, and you very, very wisely suggested that if people wanted to get a taste, they could just watch the credits to each of them, which I actually did.
I'm sure you did.
Like I watched like 10, and so many of the shows have a really dicey setup.
It's all
Like it's kids playing, and then a weirdo says, "Come with me, kids."
Yes.
Let's come with me, kids. Because I'd forgotten. You actually said the Lost Saucer, but I thought the Lost Saucer was the Far Off Space. Like I had conflated them. I forgot the Lost Saucer was its own thing, where the flying saucer just lands in the middle of the night.
Yep.
It says, come on.
Mm-hmm. Can you read a map? Come on.
Right. Lidsville, the dude falls into the hat.
Yes.
HR Puffin stuff.
The
boat just sails up, and the boat says, "Hey, Billy, get on the boat. We're gonna go sail and have an adventure."
Not someone on the boat.
Right, just the boat. There are so many strangers speaking to children.
It was
And then the children,
White children.
it's actually a little black kid on the Lost Saucer.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a little black kid.
There's not a white kid too.
No. It's a white woman and a black kid. They never explain. I mean, I just watched the credits.
Okay.
So, from the 70s, you flow right into the 80s. Like, why are you in this shop buying stuff from this guy? Nothing about this setup seems safe.
White.
All right.
I mean, I asked and answered this.
No.
We all know.
I just. You ever watch the it's funny when that Sesame Street box set came out for the anniversary, and it has like the very first episode of Sesame Street, and it has a disclaimer on it where it says, "Don't do the stuff that we're showing kids do in this episode of Sesame Street," because they're playing in a junkyard. It's like refrigerators all open, hanging up and hanging, as kids. And it's like,
It was a different time.
like,
It was think of how many.
I think we were actually feral.
Dude,
We were feral people that stumbled into adulthood.
think about what the Killer of Sheep.
Killer sheep.
The kids in them, they are entertaining themselves.
There's no oversight at all.
Right. They are literally at an abandoned building.
Dude, I said me and Camille are going to see Godzilla because it's like, I can't take Adam. Adam is 7. But then I thought about it. Shit, when I was 7, I had seen The Exorcist
Damn me. Well, me too.
and Amityville Horror and Jaws. My dad was just like, look,
I want to go to the movie.
this the movie. We watching this movie. You 7? All right. Buckle up.
Wait a minute. What?
I'm actually giving him more credit than he deserved, because by me saying my dad said you're 7, buckle up, that was him acknowledging that I was 7 and that this might be a rough ride.
Well, hey, famously, I took Olivia when she was, I think she corrected me and said she was about 6.
See, you and my dad, y'all look.
Took her to see.
Look, this the movie.
Took her to see Blade 2.
This the movie.
And then I was surprised when in the middle of the night, she was standing in the doorway saying, I can't sleep. And then she had to come sleep with me.
Look, my mom would say it is time for him to go to bed. My father would say, leave that boy alone. He's not bothering anybody. He's okay. So I stay up with my dad. But you know what? If you stay up with dad, you gotta watch
what dad
you gotta
watch.
watch the shit dad watch.
That's right.
So
Well,
you
fortunately, with my dad, that meant Barney Miller.
Right. Well, my dad, it might be Wicker Man. We were just talking about it last week. Hey, you want to stay up with dad? This is what dad watching.
Fortunately, my dad didn't watch that. We watched Barney Miller, WKRP. That's what my dad watched while he sat there eating pretzels and dipping
Susan's
them in peanut
basic
butter.
little arm come up out the grave at the end of Carrie. You want to stay up with dad?
See, all I had to worry about was turkeys bombing.
Yeah.
From the sky.
All right. How we ended up on Carrie, but there you go.
There you go.
There you go.
That's the top 5,
Top
ladies
5.
and gentlemen. It is now time for 6 Degrees of Turville Park.
That's the key. Why, you would be surprised what a person can do with just a sensitive touch and a sensitive sound.
And didn't Dylan just have his little PSA for Young Jump? And now he's up here terrorizing me.
Terrorizing you. I thought about that. I was like, it's Dylan.
Dylan said, well, I got what I needed.
I was going to say, I got what I need for now. I'm going distracted with Godzilla.
gonna make Len sweat. 6 Degrees of D'Urville Martin, ladies and gentlemen, where Vincent has 6 movies or less to connect these two actors that I present to him to that one man melting pot. D'Urville Martin.
All right.
Vincent,
Yes.
there was a theme to these people.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember what keep it in theme.
Keep it in theme.
These are 2 actors that
Okay.
have played boxers
Okay.
on screen.
Very nice.
Number 1.
Number 1.
In 6 movies or less,
Okay.
connect D'Urville Martin
D'Urville Martin.
to Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal. Oh, well, that's interesting. Who did he play a boxer in?
He played a boxer in a movie that I actually have a distant role in because I was just background. It was called, I want to make sure I get the title right.
I can do this while you're looking it up if you want.
Go ahead, do it.
You didn't think about the fact that D'Urville Martin is, of course, in 5 on the Black Hand Side with Dick Anthony Williams, who is in Mo Better Blues with Samuel L. Jackson, who is in Spider-Man Far From Home with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Very good. Very good. And actually, the movie I was thinking of, he is not the star of. So it wasn't on his filmography. That's why it didn't show up.
All right.
But very good. You did do.
He's in the Marvel Sludge.
Yes, he is in a Marvel Sludge, and I totally forgot about that. Absolutely, totally forgot about that. But he plays a boxer in the film Southpaw.
Okay.
Directed by Antoine Fuqua.
Yeah. I feel like I saw Southpaw and it was pretty good.
I think I saw it too.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Very good, Vincent.
All right.
Number 2.
Number 2.
In 6 movies or less, connect D'Urville Martin to Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis. So was he a boxer? Are you thinking about Billy the Butcher?
No.
Yeah, I'm about to say, because he wasn't boxing in that.
He was not boxing.
You know, because, of course, I'm going to go that exact same way and go from D'Urville Martin to Dick Anthony Williams to Samuel Jackson to Leonardo DiCaprio in Django Unchained, and then Leonardo DiCaprio is, of course, in Gangs of New York.
Gangs of New York.
Daniel Day-Lewis is Billy the Butcher.
Do you like that movie?
I love Gangs of New York. You don't?
I think it's a little bit long.
People are hot, I'm about to say people are hot and cold with it, but you're just sort of tepid.
Yeah, I mean, because I recognize it looks fantastic, and there are moments of it that are really great, but I just feel like it.
And Daniel Day-Lewis just goes for it.
Well, I mean,
He just goes for
he
it.
just goes. But I feel like it's long, and sometimes some of the beats are repetitive.
I mean,
in the
okay.
movie. So, but I
Yeah.
want to like it more.
Yeah.
But very good, Vincent. And Daniel Day-Lewis actually was a boxer in 1997 in a film called The Boxer, where he plays the life of boxer and IRA volunteer Daniel Flynn.
That sounds about right. I'm actually hot and cold with Daniel Day-Lewis.
As an actor?
Yeah.
Really?
Like sometimes I love him, and then sometimes I just kind of roll my eyes and like, all right, I get it. You're an actor.
What's a roll my eyes moment?
I've never really understood the my left foot thing.
See, I never saw that.
Yeah. Okay, Daniel Day-Lewis. I get all right. Ooh, look at you.
No, okay.
Yeah.
I
But then other stuff, I love him.
no.
Right.
I like him, but I just never saw my left foot, and I refuse to see what's The Last Mohican. Ain't he in that?
It's not bad.
I refuse.
You know, you watch it on like cable.
On white cable? Is that what you
I said on. I said on
say on-
cable. I didn't say white cable. I don't know what you laughing about. You know what white cable is? Turner Classic Movies. Boom. How you like that? Don't be mad. Don't be mad. Look at you. Look at you.
You don't play fair. Now it's time for our review of Boxing Day.
Ready?
I'm not talking to you for 3 seconds. Okay.
Boxing Day, a night. Take two. Boxing Day, a 2021 comedy drama out of England, directed and co-written by Amel Amin, is the story of Melvin, a British author living in America who returns home to London for Christmas to introduce his American fiancée Lisa to his eccentric British Caribbean family. Family drama ensues, family secrets are told. In this holiday film, starring Amel Amin as the lead character, along with Asia Naomi King, Lee Ann Pinnock, Stephen Dillon, and Marianne Jean-Baptiste, was the choice of Lynn Webb as we begin our December holiday movie journey. Lynn,
Yes.
what would you like to say about Boxing Day?
Well, I'm going to start with the educating the people out there, all of our missionaries watching us as we are streaming live from Yunk Junk to YouTube and all places north, south, east, and west.
Unless they know about Boxing Day already.
Unless you already know about Boxing Day. Right. Boxing Day is a holiday celebrated after Christmas Day, occurring on the second day of the Christmas tide, which would be December 26th. Though it originated as a holiday to give gifts to poor people, today, Boxing Day forms part of the Christmas celebrations, with many people choosing to take advantage of Boxing Day sales. That's according to Wikipedia. It originated in Great Britain and is celebrated in several of the Commonwealth nations, such as all parts of Europe and Spain, Germany, the Netherlands, and of course in the Caribbean islands.
Yes.
Boxing Day is celebrated as well. And I led with that little bit of history and a short little bit of Boxing Day because I learned all of that about Boxing Day from reading. Not from the movie Boxing Day. Because the movie Boxing Day, while it does take place, part of it, on Boxing Day, is Boxing Day in name only.
Yes.
Because what this movie really is, it is the British actor, writer, director, Amel Amin's attempt to make a Hallmark rom-com set in the Christmas tradition. For those who don't know already, and I'm sure people know, Christmas time is the time for Christmas movies. And I mean, right after Halloween is done, right after the horror movie starts, Christmas movies begin. On Hallmark, on Lifetime, on BET, on Netflix, everywhere.
Yeah.
There are Christmas movies, Christmas movies, Christmas movies, Christmas movies. And for every 10 Christmas movies, 4 of them are going to be family films.
Yeah.
The rest of them are going to be rom-coms, because a Christmas rom-com is a genre unto itself, and a successful genre, because that's why they keep returning to the well.
Yeah.
And within that genre, there are certain tropes that emerge from all of the films. These are usually a movie about a couple that is one of the people in the couple that starts off the movie is not happy about how things are going, but they're just dealing with it. They usually got to go back home or go back to another city to rediscover who they are and meet the love of their life and put stars and lights and a bow on the tree and kiss at the end of the movie and live happily ever after. And in between all of that, family drama and hijinks and laughter ensues. There's always misgivings that happen. There's always an ex that comes up and kind of like possibly, ruffles feathers. It happens in every one of these movies. And Emil Amin is trying to have his cake and eat it too with Boxing Day. It's just a British version of it. Props to him because it's not just strictly British. He is of British Caribbean descent, particularly British Jamaican, from what I understand, in a bit of a mixed family with British Nigerian family. So there is a blending of the British and Jamaican and Nigerian cultures on display in this movie. And there's no shorthand to that. So you're just dropped right in the midst of this culture, in this tradition. And in that, it is a beautiful thing. Like I said, in all of these movies, there is a going back home and rediscovering your family. And in this movie, which starts off with Emil Amin, who is he is a successful author. No, he's an actor first, but then becomes a bit of a sci-fi author and has a hit book on his plate, who his publicist arranges for him. Well, you know what? It's time for you to go and promote your book, and we're going to start back in your hometown in London.
Sure.
Get you back to London, get you on London, Good Morning London, and talk about the book as it's coming out. And he's a little, oh man, I don't want to go back home because why? He's come to America. He's been 2 years in America. He's found love. He's found a successful American Black woman named Lisa, played by Aja Naomi King. More about her later. Who has now discovered that one, she is a casting agent in Hollywood. That's how they met. She's got an opportunity for a great job in New Zealand working for Peter Jackson, and has discovered that she's pregnant with his baby. And when she comes home, prepared to tell him, it is at the same moment that he tells her, hey, baby, I got to go to London. And this is going to be your first opportunity to meet my family who don't know anything about you. And, oh yeah, will you marry me? As he has this big band playing with roses all over the place. She says, of course, yes, great. Now give me back the ring, because when we go home, I don't want them to know that we're engaged just yet. So we'll just play it that we're boyfriend and girlfriend. Huh? But that's what that happens in every one of these movies.
Sure. Also, she messed up the proposal because she threw up.
Oh, because she threw up because she's pregnant, which she then doesn't tell him.
She hasn't told him.
She hasn't told him.
Right.
When they go back to London, it comes out that he didn't tell her that his most recent ex, who he had just bum rushed out of London from 2 years earlier, is the pop sensation Georgia, played by Leanne Pinnock. And she happens to be staying in the same hotel as them in London. Ooh! And she is the of his mom's best friend.
Yeah.
Ooh, and because they dated not just before he left for America, but since they were children,
Right. They grew up.
they've been
together.
like destined to be together.
Yeah.
The families are intertwined and will be together at Boxing Day for the holidays. Ooh,
It's a bit of a sticky wicket.
a bit of a sticky wicket that only gets stickier because Emil Amin's, who is the actor, the character is Melvin, his sister is George's assistant and best friend, and they're at the hotel too. Oh my goodness. What forever is going to happen in this movie? You can see the hilarity lining up, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, we have yet to get back home to meet the crazy characters and the knucklehead uncles and aunts of this blended Jamaican, Nigerian, British family.
Yeah.
It is all the makings of every Christmas movie you rom-com lovers absolutely love. It is all right here. It is cookie cutter. There is slapstick galore. There are moments where people are doing pratfalls. They're running all over the place. It is an exceptionally cute movie. It is funny at times. It is well produced. It looks gorgeous. It looks absolutely fantastic. Emil Amin as a leading actor, good. He's got a little bit of charisma with him. His chemistry with Aja Naomi King is spot on, and you can't help but have chemistry with her because Aja or Asia, right? I'll say Asia because it's AJA. Aja Naomi King is absolutely the best thing in this movie and a star in the making, in my opinion. She absolutely steals this movie from every single person she is in a scene with. If you are in a scene with her, you might as well just deliver your lines and step out of the way because she is eating the room from you. She is that boss in this movie. She makes the movie worth watching. It's very cookie cutter. It's buried by the numbers. There's there's a C plot about Melvin's younger brother and this crush that he has on this girl who doesn't even notice that he's alive, but the girl is the ex of his cousin, and his cousin is mad that he's got a crush on the girl and all this other type of stuff. It makes no sense. You could pluck it out of the movie and lose nothing from this film. There's also a D plot about Melvin's mother, played by Mary Jean Baptiste, who is always a revelation whenever she is in a film. But she, 2 years divorced from their father, who cheated on her, and that's why she divorced him, is now in a relationship with a white man, and she's apprehensive about introducing this to the family. So there's a D plot about, what does that mean? What does that say about their actual relationship, and will he be accepted by the family? We all know how this is going to play out.
Yeah.
And it plays out exactly how you think it's going to play out. The question is, do you like the road to the end that we all know is coming? And I would say, as rides go, if I'm giving a ride a grade of 1 to 10, this ride is a solid 7. It's what you would want from a Christmas movie. I enjoyed it from there. I enjoyed living in that culture. Just like you were talking about with Pearly, I could live with that family. I could live with that blended family all day. I think they're a little underused in in this movie, but that's how strong the actors are that bring those characters to life, that I just want to be in that room and playing dominoes and drinking Red Stripe and Rand Nephew with them and all day. But it's a Christmas movie. I watched it on my own last night, and I liked it well enough that I look forward to revisiting it this holiday, during the holiday, and turning it on and introducing people to the movie, because I think it was charming enough.
Yeah. Pretty much everything you said. As you said, at this point, the holiday film, this type of holiday movie, because I do think there are several types of holiday movies, and we have all month to talk about the sort of traditional holiday movie that works. But certainly over the past 10, 15 years, the Hallmark holiday movie, as you said, has become a subgenre of these kind of films. I do think traditionally the best holiday films have a bit of darkness in them. Like you think about A Christmas Carol and It's a Wonderful Life, and like there's always this kind of vein of melancholy or actual darkness that the sweetness and the brightness contrast.
Okay.
But the Hallmark movie is just all froth.
Yep.
It's all froth. And I think it's not my thing, but what I've really admired over the past 5 years is how there's been a sort of concerted effort to make them less blindingly white.
Yes.
Like sort of the sort of it's TikTok kind of social media joke at this point, where I'm the high positioned money making city girl, and I end up in the small town with a guy who runs a Christmas tree lot, and how we've got nothing in common, and then they end up together. But again, Hallmark has always been white. And there has been this effort to change it up.
Yep.
To the point where there's now a fair number of black versions.
A ton of them.
Of this film. But as you said, still cookie cutter, still kind of straightforward, still, what is it that, if you like this thing, this is your thing. But like you, I think what made Boxing Day work for me was the specificity of this culture, of this location. London is shot beautifully. Like you can tell Amel Amin is from London. He knows London. It's not just the London stuff.
Yeah.
Like this looks like this has the sensibilities of somebody who knows this city. The specificity of this Jamaican English family.
That's what it's about.
It really made me think of Steve McQueen's short, his miniseries from a few years ago, Small Acts.
Yes.
Which also highlighted
that culture,
this Caribbean culture in England that I was not that aware of. So it was just so beautiful seeing this shade of blackness that I was unfamiliar with. And that helps so much. And you can tell, and he says so in interviews, he pulled so much of the way that these characters were constructed from his family. So that, again, like you, there's an extended domino game with his uncles.
Yeah.
That, dog, me. You get some old black men talking,
I just would be in a room.
Look, 45 minutes. Like just everybody sit down. 45 minutes. We gonna spend on this domino game. And these old men talking. The aunties talking. And I have to say, me and Amel Amin had a moment through time and through the movie where, as you said, his fiance is secretly pregnant. And I actually said, if this girl walks into this room with all these old women and not one old woman clocks that she's pregnant, I'm calling shenanigans. And sure enough,
His mom
says, "Oh, she's pregnant." And I said, "All right, good deal. You doing what you're supposed to do." The performances are all solid, as you said. I've been a fan of Asia Naomi King since she was on How to Get Away with Murder. And you're talking about her eating up everybody, just sort of her performance in this film. I would expect nothing less for someone who went toe-to-toe with Viola Davis for 4 or 5 years. And she would hold her own. So she's fantastic. The story itself, I felt like had enough specificity. Like it's always going to be a complication, but it's like the complication of, your father cheated on your mother, and then your mother told the whole family on Boxing Day.
Yeah,
and then
that made you run out.
So that's what made you run.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I've never seen this like in the Mad Libs of how you put together the plot. I've never seen this particular Mad Lib, so points for that. Much like you got the sense that there was more there, particularly from the sister character, and the sister character is played by Tamara Lawrence, who does not get as much to do in here as she should.
She actually is very good.
And you can tell she's very good. I also, his father, who has destroyed his life, Robbie G, who plays Bilal. His father, who, as we said, has cheated on his mother, destroyed his life. He comes in about halfway through, and he's just sort of a character, and he's part of this troupe of actors, and he's part of the ensemble. But then there's this really neat scene between he and his son.
Yeah.
At the bar that he owns. That I said, well, I need more Bilal. So that, like you, I think the critique is really a compliment wrapped in a critique, that so many of the performers in this film and so many of their characters, hell, his mom's relationship with with her white beau, Stephen Delane, who's good whenever he shows up. Like he's shown, I think he's on Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Once or twice. I really like him. So that I liked it too. I think seven is
right. It's like right there, right?
Is 7. I might bump it to an 8 just because of the specificity.
No, see, now I can't go 8.
Can't go 8.
And I'll tell you
why.
gonna
fight me for? Can we split it and do 7.5?
No, I gotta stay 7.
Okay, what's keeping it from 7.5 or an 8?
Because what's keeping it from anything higher than a 7?
Okay,
because we said it's good.
Yeah, solid.
It's solid.
Solid.
But then, and it's not her fault.
Okay.
Emil Amin wants to, he leads the movie by saying that Georgia is this big pop star.
Yes.
Which means that somewhere in the movie, we have to see Georgia sing.
Yes.
Just, you have to get a sense of her singing.
Yeah.
And we do.
Yeah.
And she sings. But she doesn't sing a pop song. She sings. Oh God, I just had it. She sings 2 songs in this movie.
Well, she sings For the Love of You at the end.
She sings For the Love of You at the end of the movie.
At the end of the movie.
Because that's a callback to the movie, the song that he had the band
But
playing.
then in the pop-up, she sings, what is the song she sings? It's not one of her songs.
It's not one of her songs. It's a cover.
Yeah.
She sings, I gotta look it up. I think I'm pretty sure I wrote it down.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I wrote it down in my book, and I was trying not to.
But what's the problem with her singing this cover?
It was absolutely ear numbing. I
think she sounds like somebody who was a pop star in 2021. I mean, hell, the actress is actually in a group in England, and she's a pop star.
I say a little prayer for you.
Right. She sings "Sing a Little Prayer." So
I
think she sounds exactly like someone who's a pop star in 2021.
Well, which is not good. Not good singing that song.
Okay, Grandpa. Here's the thing.
It's not a grandpa moment.
These children can't actually, like, who are you comparing her to? Dionne Warwick or Aretha Franklin?
Well, I have been on a bit of a Nancy Wilson kick.
Right. Yeah, see, here's the thing. None of them sing. I mean, this, she's actually a singer.
I know.
Like, she's actually
a pop star singer.
Like, this is actually her job.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, but you didn't like it doesn't mean it's not realistic.
It didn't sound good.
You thinking it doesn't sound good doesn't mean it's not realistic.
Well, that's why I can't give it over a 7.
No, you got to give it over a 7 because
I got to give it over a 7.
Because she did her job. Like, she actually did her job.
She did it well.
No, she does it as well as they all do it.
I'll give her 7.5.
If your name is not Beyonce Knowles, none of these girls can sing.
What? That's not true.
Who's singing? Who's singing in 2023? Who's singing? Who actually singing?
Well, I mean,
who? Tell me. She not my deal, but Beyonce can sing, but you take her off the board.
Yes.
Who else is in the choir at your church in 1987 singing lead on Communion Sunday?
Jill Scott.
Jill Scott is our age.
She's not our age.
Jill Scott is 100%
She's not our
closer
age.
to our age. She is.
Well, Beyonce is 40 something.
Well, the kids. I don't like to talk about that. Beyonce's like, all right.
They're probably about the same age.
I'm talking. All right, we won't let them have Beyonce, but they get a little touchy about that. Actually, because I always talk to my students about their music is terrible, and it's always some child that won't tell me, I got some music for me. And some child gave me some music, and you know who half the playlist was? Outkast. I was like, well, this is a good playlist, but I don't want to point out the fact that it's because half of the people on the playlist are my MCs. I think she did fine. I think it is 100% realistic, this part of it.
Okay.
I am strongly advocating for the 8.
I'll go 7.5.
All right, 7.5.
Because she is actually singing.
Yes.
And so I will give you that.
Yes. And she doesn't have a bad voice.
No, she doesn't have a bad voice.
Bad voice. It helps that she's pretty, though.
See?
I'm just saying. Look, sometimes I look at
talking that smack.
Sometimes I look at footage of people. I ain't gonna say any women because that's just bad form. But like you look at old footage of we were talking about Luther the other day, and Luther looked like he is just working at the phone company. But that voice? Or like who's another good one? Like you look at who's another like James Ingram and Jeffrey Osborne.
Jeffrey Osborne.
Like you look at these dudes and it's like, woo,
Jeffrey Osborne.
Woo.
It's all about the voice.
But that voice.
It's all about the voice.
So, leave this little sister alone.
See, you say leave this little sister alone, and I'll back off.
All right.
But here's the thing. If you had just heard her singing that song on the radio, you'd be singing another tune right now.
No. I'd be singing the same tune that I sing right now.
No, you
I don't
wouldn't.
listen to none of that. don't listen to none of it.
But why wouldn't you be listening to it?
Because I don't like it.
Well, that's all I'm saying.
Yes, but you can't say you don't like it as a good set of criteria for dinging this film. Like, she is playing a 28-year-old ingenue pop star in 2021.
I see your point.
Like, if she
That's
was
fair.
right, if this was set in 1940, and like Dinah Washington and Ella Fitzgerald were going up against her to be lead for Duke Ellington's orchestra, and she won, then you could say, "Oh yeah, that's." But it's too, I mean, what you want?
Okay, I'll give you that.
All right.
I'll give you that. I'll give someone that can sing choir. Jasmine Sullivan.
Jasmine Sullivan is a good one. Jasmine Sullivan, point.
Okay.
But it took you.
That's not the point.
It took you 10 minutes.
That's not the point.
to
Ask the
come up.
question.
All right.
Ask the question.
All right. Would you? Right. Somebody said the OJs. Oh my! Of course, my brother. The OJs. Footage of the OJs from like 1973. The OJs looked like they left. They just left the factory and came to sing some songs. But soon as Eddie Levert and Walter Williams opened their mouth, it's like, oh my God, you've got the voice of an angel.
That's the same thing I got the whispers over.
Whisper, same thing. All of them groups.
Damn ass twins.
All of them groups.
Well,
Felipe Wynn. Felipe Wynn looked like the dude. He looked like my mailman in 1974. Who would get out the mail truck, put mail at your house, get in the mail truck, and drive 5 feet. Get out and put the mail in. Soon as Felipe Wynn opened his mouth, like them dudes in the 70s could sing.
no, they could.
Like they could sing. I ain't good looking. I had pork
there
chops
were some good looking guys.
It was maybe 3 good looking guys. Marvin Gaye, Teddy Pendergrass. Who else was a good looking guy? Like, oh wow, that's a good looking guy.
Isaac Hayes wasn't a bad looking man.
Isaac Hayes. They came up, you know what? They invented a brand new term for Barry White. That's how crazy Barry White looked. What the hell is a love walrus?
But Barry White's not a bad looking man.
Come on, stop.
He wasn't a bad looking man.
He made it work for him.
Fair enough.
Yes. Like, we ain't talking about the women because that's bad form.
Fair enough.
But it's a lot of the comments that we've made about the men, that it's a lot of the women that were singing in the 70s. You can make similar comments. We wouldn't do that because that's bad form.
That's true.
But she's a pretty little girl, and she carry a tune, and look,
I gave it a 7.5.
right. I'm a pop star in 2021.
Would you recommend people see Boxing Day?
I would. I think. No, I should ask you. It's your movie.
You just did.
Oh, and you said yes?
Oh no, you started to, and
Yeah, I
then you
started
went
to.
on about the OJs. Your brother distracted
Right.
you. Don't look at the comments. Is that what you said?
Yes, I did. Because they distract. That's my point. That is my point exactly. They distract you, and Damon knows he can't be bringing up the OJs to me because I love the OJs.
I love the OJs.
Love the OJs.
OJs are the dude.
Look, not nary an OJ could have been a model.
Okay.
That's some singing brothers.
So same with the Temptations.
I mean,
Well,
Temptations
except maybe-
they were kind of good looking guys.
There was a couple of good looking.
Yeah, they were good. I mean, but Temptations, they were good.
Not all, but some.
Not on, but that was the Temptations thing, though. They
Yeah,
they were kind of smooth and
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. Four Tops were good looking.
Four Tops. I mean, that Motown sheen
That's
worked
true.
for a lot of them.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
I
Rick
would.
James.
Rick James had that thing happening.
He
with
had it
him.
happening.
He had a thing.
Made it happen.
Right.
He made it happen.
I would recommend Boxing Day. I think, I always think you should watch an example of every type of genre, just so you can kind of be familiar with the language of it. And these are, the holiday Hallmarky movie it's not, it's no harm, no foul.
Do you watch any of them?
I don't. Well, not deliberately.
So does Wendy watch?
No.
Okay. So how do you
If it's like on, like like just as white noise.
Okay.
Like it's sort of on while I'm doing something else, and you look and it's like a black dude in a sweater. It's like, oh,
That's what he's doing.
Right, it's like a black dude in a sweater.
That what black guys in sweaters
Right,
do?
black guy in a sweater. I am a professional. I do professional things, and I'm a lawyer, doctor, architect.
But in my downtime, I put on sweaters.
Right, I have on a sweater, and I'm at my parents' house and
Drinking
downtown.
eggnog.
Right, it's Atlanta, and
Downtown Atlanta.
Tracy's home too. You haven't seen Tracy since
It's
you two were in
always Tracy.
you two haven't seen each other since you were in school together. And it's like, Ma, I'm engaged to Keisha, and then and it's like, but then you and Keisha have a falling out, and then you run into Tracy, and you've got you two running in the gifts fly, and it kind of goes from there. So if it's on, but I think the specificity of this, dare I say, elevates it out of that mass.
It does.
The specificity and then the actual performances. Because I do think that they are solid to good performances. Oh, sure.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, sure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is our review of Boxing Day. Before we tell you what we're going to be reviewing next week here on the Micheaux Mission, I invite you to follow the Micheaux Mission on the social media of your choice, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, at Micheaux Mission. You can go at Micheaux Mission also on YouTube, where you can hit that subscribe bell and ring the bell so that you can be notified whenever we put up new videos, when we go live, when we put up our fantastic shorts that Dylan edits out from the show. Go to YouTube / @Micheaux Mission and subscribe. Become one of our subscribers to our growing list of missionaries, who can always go to our website, MicheauxMission.com, and find our entire backlog of shows. And Micheaux Mission is also a proud member of The Podglomerate. ThePodglomerate.com. They make podcasts work. You can go there and check out their growing network of sister shows to the Micheaux Mission. They're all our sisters because we're the big brother. The Micheaux Mission streams live every Tuesday night from Young Junk, Philadelphia's premier video podcast palace here in Manayunk. And if you want to book some time here at Young Junk, email Dylan at youngjunk.com. That's DYLAN at youngjunk.com, and book your time in one of the fabulous studios outside of ours. Trust me, they're all gorgeous. We would be there, but this one it's signed. So it's ours. Also, tickets are on sale right now. The Micheaux Mission is going to be doing a live screening, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, a live screening coming your way in January 2024, January 27th at the Lounge at World Cafe Live. We will be screening Love Jones and doing a live podcast on that night. Tickets are on sale at worldcafelive.com. Thank you to all of you who really scooped them up. They went on sale on December 1st, and a lot of people went in there and scooped up tickets, so we really appreciate that, and we can't wait to see each and every one of you there at World Cafe Live.
Absolutely.
It's going to be fun screening. And you probably haven't seen Love Jones ever, a lot of you ever, on the big screen.
I know.
And now you'll see it on a big screen with fans. Come have some food, drinks, and while out and have a good live podcast with Vincent and I. Okay? Next week on the Micheaux Mission, as we
Yeah.
continue our celebration of the holiday season, we are going to do a movie that I know each and every one of you are eager to catch because it just recently dropped in your streaming channels. And we're going to tell you all about it next week when Vincent and I, speaking about Tracy Ellis Ross,
How about that?
review Tracy Ellis Ross and the unstoppable Eddie Murphy in Candy Cane Lane.
Candy Cane Lane.
Vincent's selection for
Yeah,
our next
yeah,
stop
yeah.
on the Micheaux Mission. Can't wait, ladies and gentlemen. Until then, he's Vincent, I'm Len, and in parting, we say...
We'll see you when it's time to meet again.